Hi, it's Allie, and welcome back to my in-home strength and prep series. For today, it's going to be all about prep. We're going to focus on what we can do to eliminate discomfort we feel at the hip whenever we're doing any of these squat motions for the videos I have been making for this series. We are going to need two different types of resistance band, a short looped resistance band and a long looped resistance band, along with a step. If you don't have a step, just grab some books and we can use that instead. So let's get started. If you're not at a place right now where you can watch this exercise video with me, go ahead and add it to your watch later list and join me when you can. Hello, today we're focusing on our hips. So if you have noticed when you're doing any squat motions that you might feel some discomfort at your hip joint on one side or potentially both sides, this is the video for you. I kind of want to discuss what that could potentially be. First is body mechanics. It can also be stability, specifically stability with poor glute coordination. Also deficits with strength. So first things first, let's talk about body mechanics. We need to kind of watch what we're doing. I'm going to show you what I typically have seen people doing and how we need to correct that. So a lot of people have something called anterior pelvic tilt. It is whenever our pelvis, my hand is going to act as my pelvis. This is a neutral position. It's whenever we have our pelvis shift anteriorly. So I'm going to go to the side to show you that angle. This is a neutral pelvis and shifting anteriorly. If you ever see anybody walking like this, anterior pelvic tilt, and you probably have it. So if you're trying to do a squat with anterior pelvic tilt, no bueno. We need to correct that by being neutral. This is posterior pelvic tilt, that's not neutral. This is neutral, this is interior. So if we're doing all our activities with an anterior pelvic tilt, what's happening is that we are bringing in the femur. This is a little bit too technical, but we're closing up the space. And when we close up that space, we don't have a lot of room, so it might feel uncomfortable whenever we're trying to do a squat. So if we were to eliminate anterior pelvic tilt, this closes this area. To our neutral pelvis, it opens it up. So when we're doing a squat, we immediately eliminate that discomfort there. But this might not be for everybody. So that's one thing you need to focus on first. Watch your squat. Watch yourself in the mirror perform it, or ask a buddy to watch you while you're doing it. So I say that as if it's an easy fix. That does take time. Generally, it's stretching and it is strength training, because anterior pelvic tilt indicates that you have weak tummy muscles, that you have tight hip flexors, you have tight extensors in your back, and that you have weak hamstrings. So we'd have to strengthen our hamstrings and our glutes. You can do that with glute bridges, RDLs. We'd have to strengthen our core by doing any core activity. There's so many online that you can do. You can also do the videos that I did. And then we need to stretch out our hip flexors, because if these are tight, this is my pelvis again. If your hip flexors are tight, it pulls your pelvis down into that anterior pelvic tilt. So we need to stretch these hip flexors, the general hip flexor stretch, right? And then for our back, if our back is tight, it also shifts that pelvis. So for that, we can do a child's pose. I will demonstrate what a child's pose is, just to stretch out our back. Ideally, you hold stretches for 30 seconds to 1 minute, okay? And you're gonna do that 3 times, and slowly but surely over time, we're able to elongate those muscles that are tight, and we'll strengthen those muscles that are weak, so that we can eliminate anterior pelvic tilt. Okay, so that is that for body mechanics. Next, we're gonna discuss mobility. That is literally if you have internal or external rotation restrictions at the joint. So for this hypothetical, I have a discomforting pain when I do a squat on my right hip. So this is going to be internal. I'm going to lay on my belly to show you. We're going to go, internal rotation is bringing our leg outwards. External rotation is bringing it inwards. So in this hypothetical, I'm having discomfort with my right leg. I'm going to compare both sides. So now I'm going to get my left leg. I'm bringing it externally, rotating that femur on my pelvis, and then I'm bringing it outward. What you'll notice whenever you do these motions is that you're gonna probably feel a pinch or discomfort whenever you bring it into internal rotation on the side that's bothering you. So when you compare both sides, you can tell whenever you have restrictions. So that's one way you can kind of gauge if you are lacking internal or external rotation for whatever leg is the issue. So right now my right leg is the issue. This is how we're gonna help with mobility. You can do a simple, bring your legs both out wide. We're gonna go side to side to help with mobility. That's one. We could do 10 reps of this. Continue to do this, maybe 3 sets of this. But my favorite, which I'm gonna try to mimic this as best as possible, we're gonna grab our long resistance band and we're gonna attach it to a pillar at your house that doesn't move, or you can hold it down with really heavy weights. This is not heavy enough. This is just for demonstration purposes. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna place the band on the leg that's bothering you at the crease. You're gonna walk out until there is a lot of tension on the resistance band that is being held by a support. You're gonna place your hands in front of you and you're gonna pull on that band. And what this does is it helps mobilize the joint from the socket slightly so that you can alleviate or relieve any pain or discomfort there. And while you're here, you would also abduct your leg, bring it out, bring it back in. You do this a few times. If you still feel uncomfortable whenever you're performing that, you need more tension on the band. So you need to walk further forward so there's a lot of tension to help relieve that. So that's for mobility. Now, strength. So in this scenario, this is my right leg. It's probably poor glute coordination. Your glutes are a big issue with your hip being too closed off, having too much internal rotation. So what we need to do is get these glutes to activate and work. One good way to do this is to be on our side. I'm on my forearm. This is a hypothetical, so my right leg is what's bothering my right hip. I'm coming up. I'm clamshelling, so I'm bringing my left leg up, and I'm really focusing on squeezing this glute as hard as I can. I'm holding it here for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and back down. You would do about 5 sets of those, okay? Another great exercise we could do to help with that glute coordination is a glute-focused step down. That's where we bring our fancy step into the game. You can also use books for this. You don't need a step. Just make sure it's safe, and ideally maybe even hold on to a wall whenever you perform this, just for some more safety and stability with the wall. So it's my right hip is a scenario. Let me actually face this way. Since this is going to be glute focused, we need to hinge forward dramatically, coming up, and our right toe should touch the back. Really try to stabilize this right leg and activate this glute. So the purpose is to try to activate this glute as best as possible whenever performing this. So let me show you from this angle. Hinging dramatically, really focusing on coming up and tapping that toe on the ground and coming back up. We do about 8 to 10 repetitions, maybe do that 3 times until we get stronger. Last thing we're gonna do to help you open up your hips so that you train your brain that this is the right and correct motion, and then activate and get more glute coordination is this. We're gonna grab a band, our short loop band. We're gonna place it around our ankles. We're gonna come up, we're gonna get into our squat position. I really want you to focus on your feet kind of corkscrewing into the ground. So this is gonna be representation of your feet planted on the ground. Once your feet are down, before you go into a squat, you're gonna corkscrew your feet into the ground. Watch my legs, corkscrewing. As I corkscrew, I'm immediately widening this position in my hips. Corkscrew, we're gonna come down into our squat. Whenever you feel discomfort, stop, come up slightly so the discomfort is gone, hold it for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back up. You're gonna do that about 5 times with that 5-second isometric hold. And I want you to try this routine before your next squat day and tell me how you feel. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. If you liked the outfit I wore, specifically these awesome pants, you can purchase your own by clicking the shelf below.
Welcome to Yoga Plus. Courses available from pupil to yogi. Sort by yoga, fitness, and instructors. Create your own routines. Access the pose library. Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth, available on Google Play and the App Store.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.